So, yes, it's running. I'm talking to my mom on the phone about her trip to the dentist, and she says her gooms are hurting. And I said, Mom, okay. And I kind of let it go. And then she said something about her gooms again. I said, Mom, do you know what you just described? I said, what are those things that hold your teeth in? What are those called? She said, my gooms. I said, I'm 53 years old, raised by you, and all these years I've never heard you refer to them as gooms. It's always been gums. In fact, I've never heard them referred to as gooms before. And I said, how long have you been calling them that? I mean, she's in her 70s, so we talk about dentists once in a while. All my life. Apparently my dad has been calling them that too, almost all his life. But I grew up calling them gums, and I've only heard them called gums all my life. I'm thinking, wow, has reality changed for me or what? Come to find out, it is an alternative way of calling them gums is gooms. New to me. I was in college, I would say, it's time to do the wash. And my roommate would say, Jeff, how do you spell wash? Like W-A-O. So there has been words that I've learned growing up that I've changed. My roommate's dad was a professor in a college English professor, and his mom was also a teacher in this high school. And so he was pretty educated, so he called me out on that. But reality is just so funky for me right now. I'm seeing businesses on mobile trucks that I've never recognized before, and I've been driving city bus for 20 years here in Denver. I look at things like that when you're in traffic. And some say, we've been in business since 1970. And I'm like, really? And I see all these new businesses, many of which apparently have been around for a while that I have never noticed. And I like looking at logos and names and play on words and cute little, suggestive things in the script or in the way the logo looks. I'm also noticing a lot of black kids. I call them kids, they're in their 20s, newish Chargers and Challengers and Mercedes and BMWs and Corvettes, and this, like, my reality has changed overnight. Hanging out with their girlfriend, going down the road. Some they get on the bus are working and aspiring with aspirations similar to Europeans, and I'm like, this is just such a switch for me. It's beautiful. It's just such a switch. What else have I noticed lately that just blows my mind? Excuse me, I'm gonna pause as I think about it. Not too. Well, here's one. I noticed that Mazda has a really beautiful red color on their new cars, and the front end kind of sticks out at more of a point. It really look cool looking, almost like a airplane or something. And I thought, well, that's a beautiful new color. I've not seen that red before. Gorgeous red. And so I thought they must have just came out with it this year. So I sold something on Facebook Marketplace, and lo and behold, the lady that came to buy something from me was in one of those new Mazdas with that red that was just spectacular. Now I'm seeing it on a few Fords and one other brand recently, I forget, on a Lexus. And I thought, wow. And she told me that her car was 2016. This car was 4 years old, and she's thinking about getting something different. I said, no way. I just recently saw this red. I look at cars all day long. I like cars, and I drive for a living. So she said, no, this is a 2016. I thought, that color has not been around for 4 years without me noticing it. I drive by a Mazda dealership 8 times a day, 4 one way, 4 the other, on my route, and have driven that route a lot over the years. And I look at the cars in the dealership. I kind of like this style, don't like that style, like this color, don't like that color. I drive by Mazda, Toyota, Ford, almost everyone you can think of, Acura, Honda, Subaru. Used to be the Fiat, but they disappeared. You get the Chevrolet, Dodge, you get it. There's just a whole bunch of line of dealerships. Here's something else I've noticed in this reality, is that women seem to have bigger breasts than I remember ever. I mean, across the board. I'm like, someone's having fun with tweaking us. I mean, our kidneys are now up under our rib cage. My aunt had to go in and have her kidney drained when she was having heart problems, and she couldn't figure out why they were putting the needle, like almost like an epidural, between her ribs to get to her kidney, because she used to have kidney infection back in the day on occasion, and it was like lower back pain. They said, well, that's where your kidneys are. Remember having the illegal kidney punch in kickboxing, where, well, I really can't even have that anymore because it's protected. So I guess if they can move our kidneys, they can enlarge other parts of our body. It's just weird. Life used to be kind of boring, and now it's just like, what's going to change today? So last night, my wife and I were watching the movie. A different topic, but still kind of something that I pointed out to her because she's not all on board with me. The movie, the kid in Africa who developed a windmill out of spare parts from the junkyard to help prevent a longer than would have been famine in his land. And anyway, his dad in the movie was standing next to this wall, and on the wall was scratched into the wall very clearly 6'6". I mean, you can't even watch a wholesome movie and they put this stuff in there just like right in your face. I just had to add that because I thought that doesn't deserve its own YouTube post. But just if you're a little bit of awake, you'll see this stuff. And anyway, I'm trying to make sense of it all. God bless y'all.